Hello, everybody, and welcome to Donna's Happy Hour. Tonight, we have a very special guest. It is wreaking havoc. Good evening.
Well, thank you for having me, Donna.
You're welcome. He's not just a little intimidating. He's a lot intimidating.
Well, not tonight. Everything's going to be enough. Cool. No fisticuffs today.
So I do want to ask you, what happened to the rest of the gang, the rest of the wrestlers?
Well, they heard you were serving burgers and fries, and they all got a better offer. Sorry.
Well, I have to say, usually I make homemade lasagna or stew for my guests, but I thought, well, if the president could get away with giving hamburgers and french fries to his guests, I could too. Mm-hmm. Apparently not.
Yeah.
But I am doing something that the president didn't do, and I am at least providing some drinks.
Oh, well, there we go.
So,
Perfect.
there you go, and I'll join you there. So tell me, what have you been up to? What's going on?
We used to slow it down around November. Then we start picking up in February.
Okay.
We got a couple venues we're looking into. We'll have some dates released within the next week and a half.
Wonderful.
Looking maybe Greenwood Lake or somewhere in Warwick.
Okay.
So
All right.
that's what we got planned.
Okay.
It's gonna be a new season for a lot of new. You'll see a lot of new faces.
Okay. Oh, a lot of new faces.
Yeah, we're gonna revamp.
Okay.
We're gonna revamp. Bringing a lot of the guys down from the ECPW in Jersey.
Oh.
And maybe some of the Five-Borough guys as well.
Oh, excellent.
Yep. Trying to look for some bigger venues. Maybe getting some more schools. We're always available for fundraisers. If your school needs to raise a little money, you got a big enough gym, we can do a split with you. We can do whatever you guys are looking for as far as making the money. If you can put butts in seats, then we can put on the show that you guys will be really, really entertained, have a good time.
Now, how can they get in touch with you?
All right, you can contact us. What you want to do is you want to contact Gino Caruso, and the website
Is it
Gino.
Gino.
Gino Caruso. Yeah,
Caruso.
He's been wrestling
Okay.
for over 30 years.
Okay.
He's got a school. It's in Lake Hiawatha, New Jersey.
Oh.
And if you can contact him, ecpw1.com.
Okay.
It's ecpw1.com.
Okay, that's easy enough. All right, wonderful. And so you said you start up usually in February.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we go throughout the summer. It's
And
usually
that's
one show, usually one show a month. It's usually how we work it out.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's also where you get the content for our TV show.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hudson Valley Aggression.
There you go. All
Yeah,
right.
it's usually on at 9:00 here in Port Jervis. And you can catch us on YouTube, also on our website at ecpwhv1.com. That's ecpwhv1.com, because we're number one in the Hudson Valley and number one in your hearts.
Aw, that's great. Well, I want to show the audience a few photos
Oh, yeah.
that you brought of
Yeah.
yourself.
Oh, yeah. That was taken by Ralph Corwin. Good guy, rest in peace. That was at one of our elemental shows. And yeah, I was pretty aggravated at that point because I couldn't get the wrestler to stay in the ring long enough to pin him.
Oh, no. Oh,
He
my
kept
gosh.
escaping.
Oh.
Yeah.
And this one I love.
This
is a great.
This is more my glory day pick right there.
That's a beauty.
That's when Regan had a belt
And-
and it wasn't stolen by Miggs.
Oh,
Yeah.
Miggs. Now Miggs has
Oh,
it
Miggs
now.
has been a champ. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
It was a silly stipulation.
Okay.
Because I was really tired of wrestling Miggs and figured he had so many chances. The loser of the match has to fight the whole locker room. So basically, I got to get a chance again.
Oh, wow.
And it backfired because he cheated and
Oh, no.
hit me with some brass knucks and and that's how that ended up. So now he has my belt.
Wow.
But I have one more match.
Oh.
And then he's mine.
Oh,
So,
wow.
like I say, a new year, new things.
Yeah, that's it. There you
Yeah,
go.
a lot of great things happen for ECPW Hudson Valley, and hey, a lot of new things here at the station as well.
That's great.
Yep.
Well, please let us know so that we can help promote it.
Oh, of course. Just have me back, and we can do this again.
Yeah, right. Once you have the date, please.
We can do burgers and fries again.
I think I'll do homemade.
All right.
That way I'm guaranteed to get the rest of the guys.
Yeah.
Learn my lesson on that one.
Yeah, this is what I get for signing my name.
Yes, yeah. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. Actually, I was waiting until we cut to a break, and I was grabbing that anyway. So
I really thought that if the president could get away with
it, but the funny thing is, he didn't get away with it.
He didn't get away with it. No, I got to tell you, they did not look too happy.
Nah.
Yeah, they were not. I don't know if any of you.
I think maybe the coach was the only one that was happy. I think that's all that guy eats anyway. Look at him.
They probably. That's why they weren't too happy because they're thinking they're going to the White House. We're going to get a good meal.
Dude, they had people offering lobster dinners. Come see us instead.
Yeah. So unfortunately, timing is everything, and I guess going when there's a government shutdown is not the time to accept an offer.
No doubt.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to get the best one.
But anyway, so. Well, I just want to thank you so much because I know that with the weather coming, it's kind of crazy.
That's what you're saying.
And can you tell me, the other wrestlers, how long have they been with you now?
Oh, well, we got guys like the Patient. I mean, he's been around 5 years. We got Fungus. He's been another 5 years. Oh, you like Fungus, right? He's a funny guy. Yeah, fun guy. Mm-hmm.
I love the names. I love the names that that you guys come up with. It's
right.
They're great. They're great. Like Wreaking Havoc. I love that name.
Oh man,
it's
fun. It's funny. I had that name so long.
I just love it. I really do. And how did you come about?
Oh well, all right. I'm gonna give the props where I've never done this before. Okay. I was just starting out training, and my brother's friend's father. He was our baseball coach in high school. So he knew me.
Okay.
And he goes, "Hey, I got a great name for you."
Oh.
And he told my brother. He goes, "Yeah." He said, "Wreaking Havoc."
Wow.
And this is in. Oh man.
That is great.
This had to be like in '96.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it was a while back.
Wow, it is a while back.
Yeah. So. Ever since then, I've been wreaking havoc, and there's been no others.
So now, how long have you been doing this now?
I started in '96.
Wow.
I was working till about 2001, 2002, and then I was gone for a while.
Okay.
In like 2012, a friend of mine has a tattoo shop, and it was in Bloomingburg.
Oh.
And there were some guys that were just starting out here. Gino was bringing a show up here for the first time in a long time. They were running some stuff, but they needed help.
Okay.
So my first instinct was to, all right, dude, I'll help you guys out. I'll come, maybe train with the guys, show them some stuff, tell them what they're missing, and, have some fun.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, Rican, do you want to do the show? Sure. Yep.
Right. Yep.
Sold them a lot of tickets.
Wow.
Because nobody's seen me wrestle since 2002. So being a comeback, everybody came out.
That's great.
Yeah, well, those people that came out infected the rest of the crowd,
right,
which made me a fan favorite.
Aww.
And ever since my first show, I've gone, I've been just on a hot streak.
Right.
Was holding the ECPW Hudson Valley Championship for 4.5 years.
Wow.
I believe it's one of the longest reigns in ECPW, period.
Wow.
But I haven't put the research in, so I'll just say it and it's all good.
Right. That's fantastic. I love hearing stories like this. I like to hear and how people got started.
Right.
And obviously, were you influenced by watching wrestling? Is that or did you do?
I always liked wrestling. I never did wrestling in like high school or any of that.
Okay, you
didn't. Greco-Roman, no.
Oh, interesting. Oh, wow.
Nah, I was basically sitting at home. I had, rough times, like everybody has rough times.
Right.
And a friend of mine said he was in a tattoo parlor and he met a wrestler.
Okay.
The wrestler's name was Tony DeVito.
Tony.
Yeah, he was in ECW.
Oh, wow.
He was in
name-
WWF.
that name rings.
Yeah, well, rings it because like Danny DeVito, but no, Tony DeVito's
Tony DeVito.
He was
I know,
part of the
yes,
Baldies
Tony
in ECW.
Okay.
He went to get a tattoo done, and he met my friend Mike.
Okay.
And my friend Mike was like, "Oh, I know this guy. He's huge. He wants, he'd like to be a wrestler." So Tony was like, "Well, I'm training people. Here's my number." So I got the number, sat on it for like a month.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know if I wanted to.
Right.
So I sat on it for like a month, and then I was like, "Let me call this guy."
Oh wow.
So I call him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that'd be cool. We can meet up here at this address, blah blah blah. And, you can train for free to see if you like it, if you want to do it, and then
Right.
if it's for
wow.
you, yeah.
Oh wow.
So yeah, sounds wow.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome. Wow, this is gonna go somewhere. So basically, I pull up, and it's an abandoned building. Oh yes, no windows, concrete walls, abandoned building.
Wow.
Yeah, it was right on I think 32. I think that's 32
Okay.
out there, right, by the Lexus Diner out that way. Is that 32 going down that way? In Newburgh? Anyway.
32.
I think
there's 302. Maybe it's 302.
No, in Newburgh.
Oh, in Newburgh.
In Newburgh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, it was on the left-hand side there. It's nice and pretty now, but at that point it was garbage.
Right,
So I walk inside. So I meet dudes outside. Hey, how you doing? Shake hands and go inside. I look at the ring, man. It's broken. Not broken, but it's like there's a blue tarp
Wow.
where the canvas should be.
Oh.
Right. Oh well, the building was leaking, so we got to put a tarp on it, make sure the ring goes.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
God, yeah, of course.
Wow.
So I'm taking my first bumps
Well, let
on
me
a tarp.
ask you this: were you guys even supposed to be in that building?
We were allowed because it was somebody else's garbage, and he knew the guy who owned it, and the guy said, "I don't care."
Wow.
But they were in there one time. They found the bum trying to steal a ring. There was a bum living in there trying to steal the steel,
Oh
so you can.
my God.
Yeah, so you can take it. And,
Right, yeah.
make some money. I was like,
Oh
what?
my God.
Yeah, that guy didn't
Wow.
fare too well after that. But hey,
Wow.
life goes on.
But no, but that was how you.
Yeah, so that's how I started training, and then everything went from there. And, a lot of crappy promoters, and this and that. A lot of nice people along the way, but a lot of crappy promoters.
Right.
They don't appreciate you for you. You're just a body, and sometimes you don't get the push. And back then, I gotta be honest. Back then, had a little bit of big guy, big head syndrome. Like opportunity should be handed to me,
Right.
not earned.
Right.
But you learn that that's not the way it goes. In this
Right.
business, you gotta earn what you get,
Yeah.
and your dues need to be paid, and that's just how things go down.
Mm.
So yeah, like I said, I stopped in 2002, 2001, 2002, around there, and then started back up in 2012
Wow.
until today.
Until
and,
today. Wow.
Yep. So and then I've been a staple of ECPW Hudson Valley since like.
Now, Now, what is this? You told me something about that you.
Oh, the induction to the Hall of Fame.
That's you.
Yeah. That was just like
you.
past Saturday. I got inducted into the Hall of Fame. Me and Crazy Ivan, awesome dude.
Okay, crazy. Yes.
Yeah, remember the orange
Crazy Ivan.
jumpsuit?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
so-
And I met him too, if I'm not mistaken.
Did you come to one of the shows?
No, but wasn't he here?
No, the one that was here was the patient.
Ah, okay.
Buddy with the eye.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not crazy. But
Wow,
yeah, so-
that's wonderful.
it was a
Oh
good
my
night.
gosh,
Yeah, had a
Yeah.
good time.
And he got a plaque for it, but
Of course I forgot
unfortunately,
it.
he forgot it.
Nah,
So
I
that's
forgot.
well.
It's all right. Yeah, I got a shot of it. We'll put it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a picture of it.
Yeah, you can send it over to Clay.
Yep.
And we'll take care
Well, you
of
can
that.
fit it in right here.
Yeah. That's right. No, we're just gonna make him work a little harder, because it's got to be just right.
Well, now my hands are up. It's got to be just right.
That's right.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh, well, I want to thank you so much, and we're going to take a short break,
Okay.
and then we're going to come back and we're going to play. It's called Stump the Stars,
All right.
and it's some trivia questions.
I'm down for trivia.
that
Okay.
I think you might be able to get some of these.
Yeah, okay, I'm down.
You might. Well, we're gonna find out.
All right.
Well, now we're here to start the trivia question part of our show. This is Stump the Stars.
All right.
And, well, I'm hoping that you may know a little bit about this subject.
Okay.
Okay, this is about women wrestlers.
Oh, wrestlers. Okay. Phew, because I thought you were going to say women. And I'm like, I know nothing. I know nothing. So go ahead.
Okay, so the very first question.
Mm-hmm.
What year did Michelle McCool compete in Diva Search competition?
Wow. Michelle McCool?
Yep.
Wow, I wish I had my phone right now.
I know, right?
Yeah, like you would think I would know my industry like that, but I'll guess 2010.
All right.
I figured it
Well, 2004. But it was a good try. It was
give it a
very
shot.
good. Yeah, why not?
I didn't know they were. Anyway.
Okay.
2004.
You ready for the next one?
Mm-hmm.
When was WWE diva Jillian born?
Jillian? Holy. I don't know. 86.
That wasn't too bad.
Mm-hmm.
You were close.
Okay.
1980.
Yeah,
Getting
okay.
better.
I'm
The
trying.
spread's getting closer.
I'm just trying to remember when I seen people on TV at that point. Because it was just me. I was a fan at that point.
Yeah,
You know what
really,
I mean? I'm
right,
like, oh, yeah.
There you go. That's all right. Hey,
And remember how old I was. You think I cared at that point when I was looking at them? When they were born?
When they were born.
You know what I'm saying?
This is true,
I'm looking at divas at the age of 19, 20. Yeah!
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let's try this. Okay. Trish Stratus
Oh, amazing.
hosted a show on Hits 103.5 FM. Which show am I referring to?
You got multiple choice on this one?
No.
Oh, man. I'm sorry. There should always be a multiple choice.
Well, you know
Even
what?
TV shows on
I
TV.
may have to switch over to the multiple choice.
Yeah, because I'm like addicted to you right now. I can't get nothing right. Wait, you repeat the question?
I certainly could.
All right. Not going to help, but just repeat it for Stalin's sake.
Not that it's going to really right.
Nah.
Okay, Trish Stratus
I'll say them
hosted a
again.
show
Okay.
on Hits 103.5 FM. Which show am I referring to? It wasn't the Mickey Mouse show, so don't.
No, it wouldn't be like an Opie and Anthony, right? Or Howard Stern or something. I don't know. She hosted it though.
Yeah, she hosted it.
I don't know. No, I really
You
have to
have
pass.
no clue.
I've never heard it, so no,
Okay.
I mean, it was a podcast. Maybe I know it was on
Alright.
the radio in another state, probably.
Weekly fitness radio show. Makes sense.
Oh, that's why I didn't listen to it.
Yeah, there you go.
It was a fitness show.
It was a fitness
Quite
show.
obviously.
All right.
Not really.
All right. So how about this? We'll go on to some other questions. You might have better luck with this.
Maybe.
You might.
Yeah.
These
You're stumping the crap out of this star. I'm not feeling so shiny today, I'll tell you that.
Well, you know what? This is A, B, C, and D. You get a choice.
Oh, great.
All right. So this might help you out.
See,
a little.
educated guessing now, I'm in.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
educated, I'm good at guessing.
And I think you're going to like this subject. Okay. Who was the very first Playmate?
Okay. Yeah, I'm in anyway, but give me a name.
Okay, ready? A is Margie Harrison. B, Marilyn Monroe. C, Betty Page. And D, Jane Mansfield. The very first Playmate.
This is so difficult. I mean, now you went before I was born. I'm gonna go with. It was a play. You mean just a centerfold or a playmate?
Playmate. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Marilyn Monroe. I'm on.
Well, no. Yeah, you're wrong. It was Margie Harrison.
The first one, right?
First one.
Dang, I was going to
See
say that one too, and then I was like, you know what, maybe it's a more popular answer.
Go with your gut.
Yeah, I go with my gut all the time. That's why that burger's gone.
All right, let's try. Which of the following Hollywood film actresses were not a playmate?
Okay. I might know this one.
Tina Louise,
Okay.
Jane Mansfield, Stella Stevens, or Pamela Anderson? Was not. Not.
What was the first one again?
Tina Louise, Jane Mansfield, Stella Stevens, and Pamela Anderson.
Jane Mansfield. Was it the first one? God dang it was! I swear to God. You see?
Oh boy! All right.
Yeah, I can't fully
Let's
prepare. I don't
see,
even
let's
know
see.
about my Playboy. Gosh, I
Oh
should be
my
tired of my man
gosh.
club. Anyway.
Maybe I should have tried geography maybe next time for you. Or
I don't even know where I'm at half the time either.
how about the planets?
You know how many bumps I've taken on his head? I don't even know if the planet's flat around these days.
I thought for sure the playmates might get,
Yeah, you would think. Except for I must be that shallow that I can care less about that too.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to give some more thought as to what I'm going to ask.
What you're gonna ask her, Leslie? Yeah, you should just ask her what's your favorite food.
Yeah, really.
Put out some finger paints and we'll be fine. So you'll be fine.
All right. Well, here, let's see if you can do this one. Okay. Who determines which aspiring model will be named Playmate of the Month? A, the editor. B, Christina Hefner. C, Hugh Hefner. Or D, the photographer?
Well, Hugh's dead, right? So I don't know if it's him.
Yes.
Are we talking now? Or in general?
In general, yeah.
You know what? I mean, the person who gets the best shot at it would be the friggin' photographer. But I'm pretty sure he ain't calling no damn shots. Cut the damn, just take the picture. So who do we got left? We got Hugh.
You got
his wife.
Christina Hefner.
Is that daughter?
That's his daughter.
Okay.
Or the editor.
I would think the editor. Doesn't he edit and get final review?
Well, one would think.
Oh, not in this case.
Not in this case.
All right, look, I'm going to go with the obvious answer, Hugh.
Very good. Woohoo!
Boom!
Hey!
I win.
All right. See, I was like, oh, man.
You see why I'm like all over the place?
Does not get this. I'm like,
7 way back to
I practically had it stamped on my forehead for you, but okay, now let's see here.
Well, if you tipped your glass on, I'd probably be able to see.
This is true.
But then again, you got those little tiny letters. I don't think I'll see it.
Yeah, tablet writing. Okay, ready? Here we go.
Yep.
Some playmates had famous children. Which one of the following actresses was not the daughter of a playmate?
Okay.
Liv Taylor.
Okay.
Laura Dern.
Uh-huh.
Diane Lane.
Uh-huh.
I think it's Marisha Hargitay. That's how it's pronounced.
Just because it was hard to pronounce, the Hargitay one. Because it was hard to pronounce. So
Well...
Nah, she was.
No. Yeah. It was Laura Dern. Okay.
You know what? Next time when you go look for questions for me, just do what you're doing because y'all never get them.
You want to go back to the wrestling question?
Oh my, not even.
All right. Well, that's all we have.
Phew, yay!
Right?
I mean, I'm so sorry.
Boy. Okay. Next time I'll
don't sweat it. I'll look silly again. It's cool. That's what it's all about, right?
Well, maybe you'll have some of the other wrestlers with you because you can tell them I'm not serving him.
Yeah, but they're all younger than me, so how are they going to answer the questions my old butt couldn't answer?
Well, this is true.
Because those are old questions, and I'm pretty old.
This is true.
These kids will be here like deer in the headlights. Like,
yeah.
The first thing's going to be like, what's Playboy?
Right. Oh,
Okay.
gosh.
Oh yeah. And
Oh,
then,
really?
And then what's a centerfold?
Oh, no.
And then-
Really?
yeah, and then when you tell them it's a magazine, they're gonna say, "And what's a magazine?"
Oh, wow.
Think about it.
Wow.
These kids
Now,
are like
you know what?
21, 22. Go back.
true.
What
You're
was
right.
that?
You're
That's
right.
you're
You're
blazing
right.
internet and.
But don't they still have magazines?
Yeah, they still have magazine racks too, but they're really dusty and the things just sit there. They don't order much.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, it's true.
Yeah.
I didn't, you don't realize
Oh,
how
yeah.
much it's changed.
Yeah.
They don't have to buy the magazine.
No.
They just go right onto the internet.
I'm pretty sure 10
Right.
people shared the picture from the photo shoot that came right from the photographer's
Right,
camera. I mean,
right. Yeah,
it's
that's
that way
true.
now.
That's
Nobody's.
true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll have to think of something then with them in mind.
Yo, but if you think of something that happened like within the last 5 years,
Right.
that'd be cool
That'll
because
be good.
then I
Okay.
might actually remember.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. I'll make it a little.
Yeah, more current.
A little more fair.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say.
Well, I thought for sure. You know, I mean.
You might as well ask me
Yeah.
what certain perfume manufacturers and stuff like that. As far as I'm concerned, because I don't know. Hey, who makes nail polish color passion blue? Oh, well, I'm gonna say I don't know.
Well, it was fun.
Oh, very fun.
Right?
I had a
Isn't
good time.
it?
Yeah.
I love doing this because it is, Stump the Stars.
Oh yeah, you got me.
And yeah, we got you good. We got you good. Yeah. Well, don't feel bad.
Coming and going.
We did this last week, and they didn't make out so well either.
I'm
So that's all right. But yeah, I did not take into consideration that. Yeah, magazines are not flying off the shelf. You're right.
Last time I checked.
Okay. Yeah.
Trust me, I looked for a Pro Wrestling Illustrated just for shits and giggles, and I couldn't find one.
You could.
I'm like,
So
nowhere.
I'll have to,
Let alone
okay.
Playboy. And,
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. What a shame. But what are you gonna do? All right. Well, anyway, we're pretty much gonna wrap up the show, and I want to thank you again for joining me.
Oh, no, I had a great time.
And
Thanks for having
be
me.
careful. I don't know if it's doing what it's supposed to do
Yeah,
next.
we'll see it once this thing's over.
And
the door opens.
and we'll get you in here again before you start up your season.
Okay, cool. Very good.
And well, I wish you much luck, obviously.
Thank you.
And I'm hoping that we can get everybody here the next time.
Oh yeah,
It'll
we'll
be a
try
lot
to
of
get.
fun.
Yeah, like I
It'll be
said,
a lot
it was
of
hard to get people. They
Yeah.
got busy. Things, and like we're in the slowdown season, so they're not. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, that's why
Their head's not there right now anyway. So
Yes,
so they're thinking of doing
I
other
know,
stuff,
I
and then.
know.
But the next show, yeah, we'll have some more guys.
Okay, that would be great.
Yeah.
And I would love to come and see one of the shows.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure Clay would love to maybe bring his daughter to one of the shows.
Okay, well,
So-
we can make that happen. Let's see, we got some tickets, and
Yeah,
we'll,
yeah, that would
like I said, next show we'll come on out. And
Okay.
everybody have a good time.
All right. So we're going to say goodnight and thank you so much for joining us. Say goodbye. Wreaking havoc.
Goodbye, wreaking havoc.
Today I am at GAIT Therapeutic Riding Center in Milford, PA. I have Martha Dubensky, and Martha is the manager. What is your position exactly?
I am the executive director.
Executive director, okay. And I contacted Martha because this is a nonprofit organization, and basically it's for special needs children and adults, correct? And let me ask you, Martha, how long ago was GAIT Therapeutic established?
So we actually established this in 1995 with our first board of directors.
Okay.
It was at a different location, but
All
we've been
right.
here on this particular location since 1998.
Okay. Wow. Very okay. So let's see, 98 to 21 years.
Well, next year will be our 25th year in business.
Oh wow, good for you.
Yeah, thank
oh
you.
my God. Well, you're doing
Yes.
something right then.
People
That's
seem to like it.
well, you know what? Just from the little bit that I have seen, you touch my heart.
Aw.
Well, number one, I had a horse, so I'm a horse lover, and how horses relate to people or animals in general, it is so special, and it's one of those things that
there are no words for, because animals sometimes have more sense than the people. But can you tell me? So you were established in 1995 originally, and then you moved to this area, this location, in 1998. Okay, and was there, I guess, a catalyst, or whoever established it, which I don't know.
It was me.
It was you, okay. Was there something that in your life that made you want to do this?
So I have to go back to when I was a little kid, actually.
Okay.
So I've always loved horses and wanted a horse, and I was lucky enough when I was 12 to get a horse.
Oh, yeah.
In my backyard. So I had to take care of it and learn how to, all the ins and outs of horse care.
Of horse care.
Not just vets and blacksmith, but just everyday care.
Everyday
water
care?
In the winter.
Right.
And everyday care. So so I actually had I had horses then pretty much the rest of my life.
Right.
But as a kid, you just ride horses, right? You have them out in the backyard, you take care of them, and you brush them and groom them, and you love them, and it's so fun. And then you go to shows and the whole bit, and it's just a fun time.
Right.
But when we then life moves you around a little bit.
It
so my husband and I ended up in Honesdale,
Okay.
PA. It was about an hour from here.
Right. Sure.
And somebody there said, "Oh, you like horses? Come and see what I do." So she was going to a therapeutic riding center up there in Honesdale area.
Oh, okay.
And I went along, and I was astonished at the reaction of the horses when they saw a busload of special needs boys from New York City getting off the bus. And these were high-powered show horses. Right. And you could see the horses actually just take a breath and just release all that tension in their bodies of their showing.
Right.
And they just performed like you would not believe how quiet they were.
They became
letting these boys get on them, and some had no verbal speech, but they could, they could still get on a horse. And so as time went by, the woman that was running it asked if I'd like to teach and ride, and I said yes, of course I would. So so from that, really, then I went on to become certified through there's a Pennsylvania certification for people with special needs. It's very specific. Okay. You have to know the horse really well and how the horse can help people with special needs, and then you learn about different types of special needs. So it was a really incredibly good program.
Wow.
And then we moved down here, and I found out about another international program that's called PATH International.
Okay.
And they also have a certification for therapeutic riding instructors, is what it's called. So I thought, well, I'll do that too. And I really had no grandiose ideas about starting anything, but somebody called me out of the blue and said, here in Milford, and said, I'd really like to start a program, and I hear that you know how to do things. And I said, okay, I'll give it a shot.
Wow.
So I was in their backyard for a couple of years with their backyard horses, but then I realized, you know what, this is not for any horse. Some horses really don't like this kind of work. It's just too difficult for them. It's too mind-boggling, if you will, for some horses.
I was going to say, and I wanted to let the audience know that it's a very interesting thing with horses, and especially, if you're dealing with thoroughbreds and show horses, most of them have to be worked every day. And so I don't want to say their mentality, but that's, I guess, that their spirit tends to be a little high strung. And so to put any adult or child on that horse, you have to know that horse. But what's interesting is that, as Martha said, the horses, as soon as all these special needs children came off that bus, the horses knew. And it really is amazing that they actually brought their whole spirit and their,
it's remarkable how horses can react to I mean, being a prey animal especially,
Right.
they have to be super or hyper aware of their environment.
Right.
And so they are.
Right.
And because of that, they have got to understand the body language of any entity that's coming into their space.
Correct.
And so that's what makes them a special, really special animal, different than, you know, a predator like a dog or a cat. So
Right.
So they are different.
They are different, and it's funny because when you were saying this isn't for every horse, I can tell you it would not have been for my horse. I had a little Arabian. She was fantastic, but she did not like ring work. She didn't like indoor work. Kind of spooky.
Yeah.
You know, you get some doves in there, you get, you know, some birds flying through. There you go out of the saddle. But I think it's wonderful what you're doing. So let's go into a little bit more of once you have the children here, you were saying something that you also have other things going on for them.
Yes.
Besides the riding.
Right, so when they come here for their session,
Right.
it's not just a riding session. It is for some. Not everybody can do off-horse activities, which is what we call them.
Okay.
But for the most part, we do have a retired preschool teacher who has been with us for, oh gosh, more than 10 years now.
Wow.
Over 10 years, probably 13, 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
And she, with, you know, all of us helping a little bit, but she will take the riders, whoever is interested, and she'll do all kinds of activities with them. So what that does is it helps both of us. So when we have the riders on the horse, we can see what they can do. Can they pick up the reins? Can they follow directions? Can they sit quietly? Can they turn their heads? What kind of motor planning do they have? And what speech do they have? And then she has them in a room, in this room actually, and she has all different types of activities for them to do, such as puzzles, which is good for spatial awareness.
Right.
And then even if it's a simple coloring, which sounds simple to us, but
we take it for granted.
we do, and they have
Yes, we
to.
do.
And then they have to pick up a crayon. So can they do that?
Can they do that?
Which hand do they use? Are they left or right-handed? Do they know their colors? And do they know how to hold the crayon and how to use it properly? So it's a lot more than that. We have a lot more activities than that. And a lot of them have to do with horsemanship skills. So they have to know the name of their horse, and then they have to know what walk-on means.
Okay.
And we talk about the parts of the horse and how to groom and
Good.
some of the different tools that we use and how to use the tools. So so all of that is we want to give them a whole body experience.
Right. And
which is,
I'm sorry for cutting you off, because if I don't say it while I'm thinking of it, so now once you evaluate, because I guess there is a certain amount of evaluating. Do you have is each child in a group session, or is it just single half-hour sessions?
Most of our classes are in a group.
Okay.
We do some single riders depending on the situation. Okay.
And I'm going to gather that each group, you have figured out the level that those children or adults would be able to accomplish. Like, I'm sure that if you, which your teacher is obviously doing, if, let's say, she says, well, this child could maybe be on a horse for 10 minutes and then just going to not be able to.
So the whole idea here is therapeutic riding.
Okay.
So we really like to put the rider, the participant, on a horse.
Right.
And some of them, yes, they can't stay on that long, whether it's physical or behavioral. You know, it's just fearful.
Right.
Who's not afraid of a horse? But so what happens over time is. If they come, like we've had some very young children that will come, and they might be on the horse for maybe 5 minutes, maybe less. The next time they come, they're on for a lot longer, and the next time they come, so they're looking forward to it.
Oh, that's
so. So it is kind of fun to ride a horse. It's really fun, and we don't just drag them around the ring. We do activities with them. They learn how to actually control that huge animal. So how empowering is that for anything from a child to an adult that has some, some issues?
Yes. Oh, that's wonderful. And now let's go into some of the other programs. Just tell me about that a little bit more.
It's going to take some time. We have so much going on here.
Oh,
so let me first tell you a little bit about our safety standards.
Okay.
So that people understand that it's not just a riding stable. It's a riding stable for therapeutic purposes. And that is all we do here.
Right.
So we have 5 instructors right now. I am an instructor, but I'm the only advanced instructor on the premises. And then we have 4 others that are registered instructors.
Okay.
And so there's levels of instructing.
Okay.
So we have our riding program for people with special needs, and you're right, they can be children or all the way up through adults. And that is to teach them riding skills.
Okay.
So every time they come, we are trying to enhance their riding skill.
Wonderful.
So they can, progress as far as they can.
Right.
And then but our other programs are, we have a Mommy and Me program, which is for moms and their little one.
Oh, wonderful.
I know, it's so cute. They're typically, they're not even in preschool yet because, the older children are in preschool. Or however the family works out. So we have very young children, and we are all here with our amazing core of volunteers that just come and help almost at a drop of a hat sometimes. They're just amazing, really, really good people. And so we keep, the riders have a leader for the horse.
Okay.
And then typically there's one on either side of the horse. So there's a volunteer on either side of the rider walking beside the horse. With the leader in charge of the horse. Okay. And then the instructor, of course, is in the center and giving the actual riding skill that's going to happen that day. And then we make it fun for them. We have rings and cones and things to go around and in and out.
Nice.
So we kind of make it fun for them.
That's fantastic. Now, how many horses do you have?
We have 10 horses, so luckily we can have all these other programs that we have.
Okay.
So along with the Mommy and Me, we have a cancer survivor program that we call LEAP, which is brand new. We just started that, actually just a couple weeks ago.
Oh, wonderful.
So we are still looking for people who might be interested in that program. That's a little different. We do some riding if people are so inclined, but we also have more of mindfulness for that, and they can walk with the horse, groom the horse.
Right.
It's just a special time that they can kind of, forget about your issues for a little while, and just be in a nice, quiet, peaceful place and be with the horse that is very giving, very giving, and very forgiving.
Right.
So, that's a nice program.
That's wonderful.
But we also have a veterans program, which has really grown over just the last year. So we started that. We started it years ago, and it sort of kind of waxed and waned, if you would, and then, but this year or last year I should say, 2018, we tried to really put a good, strong spin on that, and the reason we did that was when we heard that, and I'm sure you've heard this in the news as well, that there are 20 suicides a day from veterans.
Yes, I did hear.
So we thought, boy, if we can just help anybody.
Right.
That's why I started the whole GAIT program, just to be helpful. Right. Never realizing how helpful we actually could be.
Could be, right.
So this program has really taken off. We've had veterans all year. Some of them ride and some of them don't ride at all.
Right.
They're just here to learn horsemanship skills, which is learning how to take care of another being.
Right.
And it's a big being, so
right.
It's kind of fun to take care of. And some of them do ride.
Right.
So that has been a great program, and we are currently we're just kicking off actually a fundraiser for that program, specifically for that program.
Specifically for that, okay.
So
and well, how can the public help what can they do can they donate? Can they?
Sure. Yeah.
Who would
sure.
they contact?
We love donations. the feed, I have to say, so some people would like to donate the feed.
Right.
But the feed, I have to say, is specific to our horses.
Right.
And so you want to donate money towards the feed, that would be awesome.
Right. That's yeah.
And if you just want to, donate a little bit, carrots and apples are always fun for the horses. But really and truly, we do need funding
Right.
for this kind of program. So
That brings me to the question. So the children and the adults that come here, do they have to pay, or how does that work, or is it for free for them, or exactly?
let me put it this way.
Okay.
We charge. We don't always get paid. So we cannot we can't do this for nothing.
The two, right?
We really can't do this for
No,
nothing.
you can't.
We just can't. With all the horses that we have, and obviously the facility that that you'll be seeing maybe in a few minutes, but
Right.
We really can't do this for.
Right. No, not to keep
For
this
zero.
overhead. No.
So we're trying to stay alive, and obviously the last 25 years we've been able to do that. So it's been
Right.
wonderful. We are very frugal. I am from New England, so we're very frugal
Right.
at this center. So we do what we can do.
What you can bring.
So yes, monetary donations are always appreciated for sure.
Okay.
We also have volunteer training. We actually have volunteer training several times through the year. I don't want to give you dates right now.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure when this is, but
Okay.
several times during the year
Mm-hmm.
we have volunteer training, and the purpose of that
Right.
is to allow anybody that's 12 and over
Mm-hmm.
to come 12 and over, so any age
Okay.
over 12. We have had them in their 80s and still volunteering.
Oh wow.
I know, because it's fun to volunteer.
Right. Oh, I bet.
So the training is really to let people know that we have pretty high safety standards. We don't want anybody getting hurt, not
Right.
by a horse, not by the facility, not by each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so we mind our language when we're here. We mind our body language as well.
Right.
And so I want people to know that they're safe. And then they also have the hands-on time during that volunteer training so that they can get up close and personal to the horse. And we have
Which
a
is very
mock
important
rider that
because when you're doing that sort of thing to get a bond with the horse is
So the
is
sidewalk is, that's what we call them. The sidewalk is people on either side. Their only focus is the rider.
Mm-hmm.
It is not the horse.
Okay.
The leader's job is the horse.
Is the horse.
And the reason we do that is if you think of a guiding eye dog,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and you've seen their little blankets that they have on, please don't pet me, I'm
Right.
working. And so we have the same deal here.
Okay.
And you'll see actually when you go down there that all the horses have a blue halter and a blue saddle pad.
Okay.
And that's to let people know that when they have that blue saddle pad and halter on,
Right.
they're working animals.
Okay.
So when they're out here with our riders, they're working. They're
Working.
not to be petted. They're not to be fondled with their little nose.
Right.
And so we just, they have to be all business
Mhm.
because the horse, believe it or not, has to really focus
Right.
on what their job
Yes,
is
of
here.
course they do. Right. Yes.
So when they have a rider, they go up to the ramp, they put a rider on, then that horse has got to be in a business suit, if you will.
It makes perfect sense to me, actually. There's a time and a place.
Yep.
And when they're out there, that's not the time.
Right, exactly. There's
Right.
plenty of other times to
Right,
be
there's plenty-
snuggling with a horse.
Right. Oh, very interesting. Let me see, what else did I want to ask you? So I went over and if they want to send donations
Mhm.
or contact you
Mhm.
in regards to maybe if they have a special needs child
Mhm.
or adult that wants to get in touch with you, what is the best way to do that? Do you have a website?
Yep, they could do it several different ways, actually. We have
Okay.
a website,
Okay.
www.gaitpa.org.
Okay.
I don't look it up very often, but I think that's it. We also have a phone number, and the phone number is 570-409-1140,
Okay.
and that goes right to our office here. And we have a Facebook page,
Oh,
and we now have Twitter.
Oh, boy.
So there's all kinds of ways that
Ways
people
to-
can get a hold of us.
Now, the other question that I wanted to ask, so how, if somebody does want to get involved as far as, doing the riding or whatever, do they have to apply for funding, and how involved is that? For
So
them?
their first step is to apply to ride, and that's
Okay.
or have any program here. So there is some paperwork involved because clearly there are there's some confidentiality issues that we want to attend to, as well as their own safety.
Right.
So so we do have a packet of, and that's all online as well. So
Okay.
all of the programs are online. We have hippotherapy, which is, do you know what that is?
No.
Okay, so hippotherapy is therapy on a horse.
Okay.
That's exactly what it means.
Okay.
But it is with a therapist, a speech and language pathologist, or a occupational therapist, or a physical therapist. And the therapist actually runs that class. They're the ones that are telling the rider what to do and how to do it.
Okay.
What we provide is the horse and the leader for the horse. And the leader has to know, there's only certain horses that can do hippotherapy. We actually only have one that's really incredibly good. We have a couple that are good, but one that is amazing. He loves it. He actually enjoys the hippotherapy because it's always little children. And so we have the leader and the occupational therapist.
Okay.
Working with the speech and language therapist. So anyway, so that's hippotherapy. All the classes are listed on our website.
Okay.
So hippotherapy and therapeutic riding. We have equine assisted psychotherapy. I'm a mental health professional as well, so I run those classes. And we have equine facilitated learning, which is typically with a school group.
Okay.
And that's a whole nother ball game.
Wow.
And then we have, as I mentioned, the veterans program and the LEAP program and the Mommy and Me. And this Mother's Day, we're going to have a ride for just ladies. No men, no children, just us
how
ladies.
Sweet. Oh,
Mother's
that's
Day
very
ride.
nice. That's so nice. I like that idea. Very nice. And are you open 7 days a week?
We're open 6 days a week.
6 days a week. That's a lot. Okay. And my other question is, if I didn't ask it, now are you here on the property full time? Do you have a full time caretaker?
We have somebody that takes care of the horses,
You do.
and he looks in on them. Feeds twice a day,
Right.
lets them in and out, cleans all the stalls. He's our
Right.
barn manager. His name is Robert,
Okay.
and he's amazing. He's
Aw.
such a good person, and he's so good with the horses.
Wow.
So he is indispensable.
And it's so important to have people like that and to have a good staff and to,
I've got the best staff and the
Wow.
best volunteer corps, and
Wow.
really and truly, it's just been a joy.
I was going to
It's
say a
been
real
a
pleasure.
struggle,
Right.
to get here.
Right,
But now
right.
that we're here,
Well, it is
Very
because
good.
I don't. It's so involved. I mean, you're not dealing with small animals. We're dealing
Yeah.
with big animals that need room, that eat a lot, that poop a lot. So there's a lot entailed
there's a
to
lot
it.
involved.
Yes,
Yeah.
And there was another question that I wanted to ask, and that was in regards to, I guess when we go through, you were saying, and I can see over here actually, all the little things that they have for the children. And you said that the teacher. Now, how did she get involved?
So my staff will laugh at this because she came to volunteer
Okay.
and went through the volunteer training, and that's why she came.
Okay.
This was a while ago, 13 years ago. But once I found out that she had some skills, I
Right.
said, so, because I was doing it.
Right.
I was doing that, and I said, maybe you would like to do this, what we call off-horse activities. And so, luckily for me, she did.
That's right.
So we tend to do that with a lot of our volunteers.
What a perfect blend. No, that's wonderful. When I had my horse, and we had a friend that actually learned how to basically do acupuncture and massage therapy and all of that on the horses, which is interesting in and of itself, you know. But to be able to find people for the right niche is so important, and it sounds wonderful. I think that's fantastic. And is there anything else that I haven't asked that you feel is important to mention?
So I do think that people need to know that we're here for the entire community. Okay. And we reach out into all 3 states, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. We don't, have any barriers there, and about 6 or 7 counties that are involved that come up here. But we're also a home for 4-H. So 4-H meets up here. It's a horse club. Obviously. Right. They meet here once a month, all year long.
Oh, wow.
And we have a special horse, I forget what they call it, but it's a 2-day event where the 4-H's come and they do all horse things and they can ride and whatnot.
Nice.
So that's kind of fun. And we also have, we've done over the years, and this year as well, we're going to have field trips for some of the schools. So they can come up here. We had it for, I think it was a preschool that was up here and just had a good time.
Right.
We also opened for senior centers, and they come up and they can groom or just get up close and personal to a horse. We've had some yoga and drum circling going on here.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And some, and you'll be aware of this, that we have somebody that's a volunteer that came one day, and she happened to mention that she was an instructor. This is about 5 or 6 years ago, and I said, "You're an instructor?" So roped her in as well.
Right. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and anyway, she also is a medium, and she
interesting.
she's a Reiki master. So not only does she do Reiki here on occasion, we have some events here at some point, but she also is going to do some Reiki on our horses and make them Reiki masters.
Right, there you go. Interesting. All right. I probably know her. You know what's interesting though is when I first talked to you, I was telling you that I had done many years back with my horse a ride for the Winslow.
Yes.
Which is also another program for special needs, yes. And that was a fantastic ride, and I don't really remember how much money we raised, but we did raise quite a bit of money, and it was a wonderful day, and it's for a great cause. And that's one of the reasons that I wanted to come out here, because I want people to know about what's in the area that's available to them, and the fact that you have it where you've got the family that can get involved. It's not just the child or the adult, let's say it's a mother and a daughter that are older, that now the daughter is taking care of the mother. And it's a way to get them out and get them, again, depending on their needs, relating to animals and other people and everything else. I think it's wonderful. All right, so I think we are ready to maybe take a tour. Perfect. And we'll have Clay. I'm sure he's already capturing the ring right out here. This is the indoor arena where they can ride. So you're riding all winter long then.
All year.
Wow.
All year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's nice.
It is.
We found that the continuity for our riders was really important. So that's when we built this probably, 10, 12 years ago. So that they would be able to ride all year and not have this big block of time when they wouldn't be able to, to follow through with some of the things that we have been teaching them, and also what they feel in their bodies when they're on the horse. Right. And so now we can do this all year. Right.
I would think it's actually very, very important not to have that gap. It's important even when I was riding my horse not to have that gap for the horse and for the person.
Right, absolutely.
So, yeah, very, very important. That's wonderful. And they have also the viewing room, which is where we are right now, which is wonderful. So while your child or parent or whoever is out there, you can be inside relaxing, and very nice. I just want to say, please, if you have a need to want to get familiar with horses and enjoy them and let them enjoy you as well, please contact GAIT Therapeutic Center. As Martha said, they have all different programs available, and they're just waiting to hear from you. And so come on out. What are you doing? You think I have something in my pocket? Yeah.
What is that for?